Good morning, Rosemary.
Good morning, Carol. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm so excited to be here with you. This is always so much fun.
It is. It
So
is.
thank you for inviting me.
Of course, of course. Well, you're part of the Body of Wisdom team. Can't escape it.
That's okay. I don't want to escape.
So this is the messages from the Body of Wisdom Oracles kind of video that we're doing with a theme from the I Am a Manifestor deck, and it which is also available in kind of write in the blog. So it's kind of, we have two different ways of expressing ourselves with the same message. And so, of course, we're going to be using our self-published decks for this reading, and because they have so much wisdom to share. So we have the I Am Oracle deck. We have the working with colors. I'm giving them in order of their creation, the Oracle of Gemstones and Rocks. And then we have the Consciousness deck, embracing the consciousness of my I Am. And the final I Am a Manifestor, which just came in June of this year. So those are and then this is kind of an array of the cards inside. So I am a spiritual entrepreneur. I consider myself now an artist. Had a hard time taking on that title. But as a practitioner, I kind of integrated several modalities that I've been certified in and that I've been studying from. And I facilitate sessions either in person, remotely, privately, or also in group. And I'm currently pursuing a master's degree in metaphysical sciences. Right now, I'm kind of contemplating what the subject of my thesis is going to be. So I'm just keep going back and forth on a couple of topics. I'm passionate about creating tools to support everyone and embracing and appreciating who they are and stepping into their potentialities through self-awareness and self-discovery practices, which includes the decks. It includes also compilations of card spreads that we've created that can also be used as journal prompts. And it's really about creating things to, just to become our best version every single day. What about you, Rosie?
I'm Rosemary, Nevada, Rosie. I'm trained in various areas. I've been around a long time. I've had a lot of opportunities to study and learn and practice. I do healing modalities. I facilitate sessions for clients remotely and in person. I have to say, my favorite is working remotely because you go into this space where you connect with the person's energy and there are no distractions. You just get uber focused. You do the same thing, don't you, Carole?
Yes, I love doing remotely because it's just I feel more productive. I feel like I'm more focused, and I'm just, it's all about you in that moment. So nothing else.
Exactly. I love it for that very same reason. And people would sometimes get confused about that concept, but we're all energy, it's all energy, and we're just working with it. And when you don't have distractions, you can just become laser focused. So I love doing remote sessions. I do readings also. I'm a psychic. So I do psychic readings. I do direct readings, which means the information that comes in for you just drops in and I share it with you. But I also like to use divination systems, all different kinds. My favorite, of course, are cards, especially the Body of Wisdom oracles. I love working with them. They're my faves. And I'm very, very passionate about using the knowledge and any gifts that I have to be of service to others. So
And
that's
I've had the privilege of or the misfortune of needing healing. but I've used, Rosie has been really helpful in supporting me in time of need. And because we all have our moments. So so I've been very fortunate to have her at my side in helping me get through passing stones, kidney stones. So that's and I also want to make sure that you know that she works with four-legged, not only two-legged individuals, but four-legged, especially dogs and cats. So so I would love to for you to share a little bit more about your experiences with them.
Oh, I have, since I was very small, uh, as a kid, I connected with animals better than I connected with people. And I love them, and I'm drawn to them, and they're drawn to me. And the work with them is very heart-centered because you just open up they have no agendas, they have no preconceptions, they live day to day. And so if I open up my heart and show them who I am, they open up their hearts and show me who they are. And we send feelings and we send visuals back and forth to each other. And that's how I know if what's wrong with, somebody. I call them somebody because they're sentient beings. So to me, they're four-legged people. So when somebody's not feeling well and they give me that information, I can let their people know what's going on. I like the Hawaiian word for somebody who has pets. That person they're not called the owner, they're called the kahu, Kahu, and it means the steward, the caregiver, the guardian. So it's not that the four-legged or two-legged, if it's a bird, whatever being you have living with you, it's considered a being. And you're the one who's responsible for fostering and guiding and helping that being's life. So you're the kahu, you're the caretaker. And I
Nice.
really like that idea. So I don't use
Yes.
the word owners, I use
It,
that.
it kind of from ownership, it kind of makes it more equal of an equal relationship, like the
Right.
respect of a relationship between man and pet. So yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah. So that's my story.
And I
And I'm
remember you,
sticking to it.
I remember, I remember you actually connecting with one of my past pet.
Oh,
So Eclipse, yeah, he was beautiful. So,
oh,
but that's another discussion.
yeah, it's
Today
another
we're here.
story.
Today we're here to. Our intention is to assist you in creating a more harmonious state of being and really evolving into your own kind of soulful, joyful living. So for me, it's I aspire to embody soulful, joyful living and to inspire others to live through that state of being. So it's to me that's kind of the ultimate way of living.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's more than just a business name. It's kind of my mantra.
Mhm.
So we have an interesting reading, right? So we use the I Am a Manifestor Oracle as the theme for the month, each month, and then we use the other cards we pull from each of the one card from each of the other decks to support the message. So this month, ta-da! This is the Heart Attunement card. Trying to make sure you can see the card. With the light reflection.
They're very shiny. They're very
Yes.
slick. They're very shiny. So you have to get them just right so they're not, I mean, they really pick up the light.
And I just had a fair this past Saturday, and someone was like, "Oh, they feel really good in my hands."
Yeah.
Their comment was. So it's kind of cool. So each of the cards in the I Am a Manifestor Oracle starts with for the purpose of manifesting my soul's desires. So we kind of use that as the theme of the message, and then so this message is about being heart attunement. So it's about centering yourself in your knowing. It's about connecting to spirit on a deeper level. It brings about the opportunity of rebirth. And as you connect to your heart, you feel more, you fall into this consciousness of belonging and feeling safe. And because there's a lot of when we're not operating from our heart, it's easy for us to step out of feeling a sense of belonging and safety. And then it just brings you into that space of self-compassion. And once we're into that space of self-compassion, it's really easier for us to have heart-to-heart make heart-to-heart connections and build relationships that are more nourishing and fulfilling. So it gives us opportunity to experience something different than what we might have been accustomed to. I know for me, relationships have been difficult in the past, and since I've been doing my work, it's I've met people like you, Rosie, and a few other people that really are supportive and loving and not not predatory like I used to attract. So
I get it. I understand. You know, this card makes me think also of, with the heart attunement, it also makes me think of unconditional love, which is a hard place to find. And I've studied with different people, and one of the people that I study with says, always try to stay in a heart place, a heart space of unconditional love, because it opens everything up. And he says, and I know that's a tall order. It's important to be there. And he said, I know it's a tall order. And he said, if you can't get there, just pretend. And he said, after a while, pretending helps it feel more natural. And it totally cracked me up when he said that, because I thought, how funny is that? But then I started thinking about pretending and imagination and all of that kind of stuff. And it does bring things to fruition. So yeah, this card makes me think of, I just love this card. The heart-to-heart connection and the compassion, and then on top of that, finding that place of, makes me to remain in that place of being unconditionally loving. Boy, I fall a bit. I get in there and then I fall out, and then I get in there and then I fall out.
well, I mean, looking at my own upbringing, everything has been conditional. It feels
Sure.
like, then from my perception of the experiences that I've had, it seemed like everything was always conditional. So it's hard to fall into that unconditional space. But I think part of that path is through that self-acceptance and that self-compassion, because once we're bringing it within, then it's easier to extend it out to others. And then from that, then we grow. So
Absolutely. So the manifestor card gives us our theme, and it gives us the what we're working on. We're working on this month, this spread is working on heart-centeredness and heart attunement. The other cards give us the how. The first card gives us the what and part of the why, and the other cards gives the how. So the next card that we pulled up is resetting, which is great because it's like a do-over card. I always love do-overs. This is from the consciousness deck, and all of these cards start with the phrase, I am grateful for. I love that, because being in a state of gratitude opens you up to so many things, just like being in a state of heart-centeredness, being in a state of gratitude, it just opens you up. So this is a redo card. This is a resetting. I'm grateful for the awareness of perceived limitations, patterns, and attachments keeping me in the box of my own making. This shift in perspective releases my constricted thinking, giving me an opportunity to reset and be in the present, reset my present reality. So this is a card about cutting cords, breaking patterns, releasing self-imposed limitations, shifting the way you think, because thinking, boy, you know, thoughts are energy. Energy is real, thoughts are real. Mind your mind. Think about what you're thinking, because whatever you think, it will become. It so be it, and so it is. So this card reminds us, and if you look at it, it almost looks like it's woven, it's interlaced. So it's all these threads. It looks like all these threads that are tying everything together and constrictive. Carole, you made a comment that you felt like this card, the image made you feel, what was it that you said?
To me it just feels like it just holding me into a cocoon kind of thing,
Right.
which is restrictive,
Mhm.
and it's holding me back. So, those, if we look at those patterns and those hindering thoughts, and it's not only from this life but from other past life that we're carrying through, then it really feels very restrictive as to, holding on to those doesn't give us the freedom. So for me, it's I feel like I can see why we have the message that we wrote, because it just feels like threads that are not only connected, but they're intertwined, and they're tight. Like it's like fabric. It's creating a fabric where there's no fluidity and no flexibility within it. And the flexibility that we may find from changing our mindsets and looking and in the resetting part gives us that freedom of being something different than what we've been accustomed to. So, or living, experiencing something different from what we've been accustomed to. So
Yeah.
for me, it's and then also, like you mentioned, cords. The attachments can also be, cords that we may have to release with other people, and toxic relationships and this and that. So really looking at, in that resetting mode, is like, what are we willing to look at, and what are we willing to do to reset, because it's really an opportunity for growth and for making shifts, incredible shifts.
Yeah, that makes me, when you said growth and incredible shifts, and when you also used the word cocoon. And I thought, when you said that, I thought, how appropriate, because you, any creature that goes into cocoon comes out when they evolve within, they turn into goo, that's imaginal cells that can become anything that's imagined, right? And then when the cocoon or the chrysalis opens up, you have this beautiful moth or butterfly, completely different being, completely changed and evolved. But there was a lot that went into getting there during the reset. And so the constricted thinking and all of that stuff, yeah, you really have to, it's a lot of internal work.
And I think we have to, the color reminds us to be in that self-compassion, as the Heart Attunement
Yes.
card is kind of the matching the color, which is where we can nurture ourselves and look at our shadow, but with compassion. We have to be objective, and we have to be the observer, not the judge. And then in that self-compassion, then it really allows us to extend it to other people, like being in the Heart Attunement, because it's important for us to also pay attention not only to the message and to the imagery, but also to the color of the card. I believe it's interesting that if we notice in the past readings we've done, and we haven't done that many, but there's always one or two cards that match the colors. So there's more of a deeper message also there, I feel.
I agree. And we have the color deck where we work with the vibration and the qualities of color. So yeah, color is an important thing for sure.
Then we have the from the I Am Oracle, we have I Am Indulging, which is being being responsible in indulging in the pleasures of life. And also it addresses about releasing lower energies of emotion energies of guilt and shame. So within guilt, to me, when I look at guilt, it automatically takes me into a sense of obligation and duty. And again, it's constriction because there's no freedom in that. I don't have a choice. So the guilt and then the shame takes us back to not being either feeling not enough or not worthy, or being judging ourselves, constantly judging ourselves. And shame is such a lower energy, and it's, we've had the experiences we've had. I mean, we can't change those experiences, but at the same time we can change how we feel about them, and how we no longer need to hold on to them. So, letting go of those energies will allow you to expand into freedom. So I can understand why it's part of the resetting. And then the pleasures of life can be very simple. It doesn't have to be complicated, but it's when we bring in the guilt and the shame, we may have robbed ourselves of certain experiences that would have brought joy to us. But at that moment, because we were into our mindset of fear, of judgment, and all of that, we didn't we didn't give ourselves permission to do this or that. So it's about that restrictive mindset that we've created for ourselves.
Or that has been created for us. Guilt is a man-made construct that serves two purposes: to keep you in fear and to control you. And if you have somebody that's fearful and you have control over them, you are a very, very powerful being. So people who want to be powerful have used guilt to manipulate and control people for millennia. So yeah, that shame and guilt, it's really important. I would encourage everybody to release guilt and shame at all costs. Do it any way you can to release yourself from it. It's oftentimes a dogmatic religion. Dogmatic religions really push guilt and shame. So release.
But also, I think based on certain behaviors, we easily go into the guilt and the indulging. So, one of the question in there is, what are you trying to numb out?
Oh, good point.
So with that question, a lot can arise from answering that question. If you're going to honestly answer that question, a lot of things can show up for you. And I want to bring the color again for this card, because it ties back to Mother Earth with, brown related to the ground, to dirt color, which to me is, as you're grounded, you feel more balanced. So you're not operating from those lower energies, your emotional energy, because the emotional body doesn't take over if you feel grounded. That's has been my experience. So grounding is very important as well. So again, with this card, as you're working with it, and then looking at, looking at indulging in those pleasures of life, nothing has to be in excess, nothing has to be in extremes. It's all about balance, and the grounding allows you to do that, create that balance, I think. So
Right. So the next card that we pulled was the from the crystal deck. This is Vesuvianite. And oh, I love this card. These cards all start with I am, and then it gives the name of the multi-dimensional being from the mineral kingdom that brought the message through. So this is I am Vesuvianite, voicing a message of you have everything you need on your journey of evolution. I love this because we grow up oftentimes, not all of us, but oftentimes we grow up in an environment where we're constantly told we're not enough. We don't have enough. We'll never be enough. And this card gives guidance and reminds that we are builders, we're manifestors, we have endless possibilities, we are full of ideas and creativity, we have the capacity to be strong and stable, and we carry an aura of safety and security wherever we go. So, and then as we commit to our growth and our development on all levels of our being, and with the needed mindset that goes with that, we move along and we follow our evolutionary path. And so we evolve, and we should relish it and relish it and enjoy it. As kids, you know, the people that our first teachers are our parents, our family, and they teach us, they show us, they tell us, they teach us, they show us who we are, but it's who they think we are, because they're viewing us through their lens. And everybody has wounds, everybody has stuff. So sometimes we grow up thinking we don't understand who we really are because of what we've been taught. And oftentimes we're told we're not enough, or we can't do it perfectly, or we'll never be worth anything. So we have all these negative things. We can have all of these negative things poured into us. And this message shows up to tell us, you have everything you need. You're fine. These are the things you have, and you can work with them to help you. So, and to this circles back to the reset for me. And then the reset circles back to the heart attunement. And it also circles back to the indulging in what you have. You have the tools you need to manifest the journey that you're on. You have everything you need. So indulge in it, do resets when you need to, and remain heart-centered. I think it amazes me how they all sort of flow into each other.
And I think with this, it reminds me that, you know, one of the main reminder is that as we have we know that we have everything. It's not, we've been conditioned to think that everything is outside of ourselves, but it's everything is within. It's just a matter of us tapping it and then bringing things to the surface. So that's why the resetting allows us to bring things to the surface so we can deal with it, and then be into that endless creativity, which leads us to manifesting and creating a life that is more pleasant, and in that indulgence of the pleasures of life. But it's not like we can take a breath, or we don't have to walk on eggshell. We feel safe, we feel contributing, we feel fulfilled. It's all these emotions that come in as we open ourselves to these experiences. So
right. Perfect card. What's next?
So we have, from the color deck, we have the polished silver, which brings in clarity and prosperity. So each of the cards of the working with colors oracle starts out with, I am open to the experience of, because to me it was important to, as we're working with the frequencies and the qualities and characteristics of each of the colors, and also put on the back I put the flower of life. It's all about that expansion, the creating an expansive field, because as we get to know how we operate and who we are, so it's all about creating that expansion, opening ourselves to other experiences. So this talks about having the clarity, and on all levels, emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual, which takes us into this undeniable and limitless prosperity. For me, prosperity is equal abundance, and abundance equals health, joy, laughter, love. It encompasses just not to kind of sound like a cliche of blissful life, but it's, we all have experiences that are going to take us out of the blissful. If I can spend 95% of my time, in the blissful, I'll choose the blissful, because I'm not interested in being part of the drama of everybody else. So it's having that clarity allows you to also set those boundaries of what you want to get involved with, what you don't want to get involved with, and what's important. What's important to you and what's not. It allows also for not only to create healthy boundaries, but it also allows you to see what you have created as boundaries that are keeping you in that box that we talked about, our own prison, in our own making, and keeping us small and keeping us tight. And so we want to expand. We want to be in that space of expansion. We want to be in that space of freedom. So I don't know. It's just like I want to swim in that pool of infinity.
Right, right.
That's what I want to flying and swimming. And it's like
Yeah.
I've been control of my life most of my life, so it's kind of I really love being in that expansive field.
Oh, yeah.
It's just such a welcoming and inviting way of living, because you become so curious, you become so aware, you become so attuned to how you feel, what you see, and then you see not only from those eyes, but from your psychic eye. So all your senses or your clair senses play into all of that, into that expansion. So
Yeah,
it's just a nice place to be in.
absolutely. Absolutely. This was a really interesting draw. This was a great spread. I think it exemplifies the way the cards work together as a team. But some people only have one deck, and they work beautifully on their own. We have one of our clients uses all 5 decks, and she does a reading for herself every single day. She sends me messages all the time. You can't believe what just came up. And she was chomping at the bit to get the final deck. So she felt like she had the whole set. And sometimes she pulls them out during the day for different things individually, but every morning she lays the spread using all 5 decks.
Yeah, I
So
mean each of the
yeah.
deck have a purpose,
Mhm.
so they can support you in different ways wherever you are on your evolution. But it also I love how they create a story if you work with all of them. If you have all of them and you're working with them, then it just kind of creates this story, and then you can see as you do it more and more, you can notice those, it can help you notice those patterns, what keeps showing up for you to come to your awareness. It's kind of like now it's going to be in your face, and then once it's brought up, then it's easier to address, and then to kind of be that observer and say, hey, how is this, how did this play out, and how am I still playing out with this, and how can I shift now, because I know that's what I've been doing. So for me, that was the most of my life was control and the predatory energy that was coming into my field. And I'm like, at one point I say, hey, once I was aware of that coming into my field, I'm like, hey, I'm not okay with this. So what can I do to change this? What can I do to put myself in a space where you're not welcome anymore. But I had to do the inner work because otherwise, they would keep showing up. So
Right,
no, no, thank you.
right. I agree. I agree.
So we have, what we do is we do have a monthly Oracle Circle, which we host every third Sunday, unless otherwise notified from, we may have to change certain dates sometimes, but mostly on third Sunday of each month. And what we do is we create a spread based on the theme of the month. So we will still carry through the theme of our heart attunement into the spread that we're going to be offering for the online Oracle Circle. So we hope to see you there. And we also would love to have you join our Facebook group, the Body of Wisdom Oracle Circles. We share a lot of different things. Rosemary shares a mini reading every day during the week, and various messages from various sources. And I do some spreads, and I do some inspiration posts and things like that.
I love your gratitude Tuesdays. You always put in something that it's like, oh yeah, being in gratitude is really important. I also love, we get a chance to see a lot of icon candy in this group, because Carole's very creative and she's always creating her new insolistry art with the combo of fractals and sacred geometry and the energy and creativity that goes into it. And so you'll tune into the page and to the group, and there's this bam, this big piece of eye candy that they're alive, they're living entities. You can meditate on them, use them like a mandala, meditate on them. They're beautiful. So be prepared to see lots of gorgeous graphic arts when you tune in.
Yeah. Yeah, I love, I cannot get lost in those.
Oh yeah.
So we are both practitioners and we facilitate sessions. So, please feel free to reach out to us and we'll be happy to see how we can support you or your pets and or your space, because we also do space clearing. So those are some of the things that we do. We also encourage you to check out the blog, because it's my take on based on the reading of the cards. That's my take of this kind of vocal version. I have written something that is what I thought would support you on the how, the what, and the how to get to Heart Attunement. So check that out on soulfuljoyfulliving.com, and always, subscribe to our newsletter if you like. That way you can stay in touch. I do host group online sessions.
They're wonderful. I love them. The last one was being opening to receiving, right?
Opening yourself to receiving.
Opening yourself to receive. Oh my gosh, it was life-changing. It was amazing. So if you have an opportunity, go on the website, get an email. You'll know when they're coming up. Carole usually offers 2 or 3 different sessions during the month. I've never been to one that wasn't super productive for me. Just lovely, just lovely. Yeah.
And so for me, it's always about creating room for more. And in that kind of mindset, it's about, okay, what is in the way of that more? So I kind of look at what would be on a general aspect, what would be useful to release. And then from there, we create expansion. So this is more of a general take of what I feel. I'm guided. It's not I feel, but I'm guided to pull out from all the work that I do. And then, we can go deeper when we do in-person sessions. We can go deeper if I do a lot of mindset. And I also have my entrepreneurial program coming up in October that I have to promote. So this is all about mindset. A lot of the work is about mindset and shifting your energy, shifting your vibration. So we love to be able to support you. So just
and if you're interested in the decks, and that we have, Carole does these beautiful insolistry cloths that are great for, you can use them to spread your cards on when you're doing an oral or oracle or a tarot reading. You can use them to put as an altar cloth if you have a personal altar in your home. They're also great if you like to do crystal grids. You can put your crystals on the cloths. That comes out beautifully. They also make really nice wall hangings. So if you want to see those kinds of things, go to the website and shop, because that's where they all are. The cards, all that stuff is underneath tools.
Yeah, trying to beautify and amplify your experiences with everything that we create. So there's also the compilations that you might be interested in.
Right, the spreads, yeah.
Those, we have 2 volumes plus a spine spread that I created that really is insightful as to depending on if you're suffering from tension in certain points along the spine, there's question that is directed to the acupoint. And then that way you can kind of gain some insight as to what's going on there. So it's, it's really interesting. The body really holds on to certain things, and working with the body's innate intelligence. I love doing that. So it just it has a lot of insights to reveal. So just check everything out. And if you have any questions, please, don't hesitate to email us. We will be happy to find out how we can support you. So thank you, Rosemary, for this month.
Thank you, Carole. Thank you. This is always really, really fun. And we'll be doing this again next month. So be watching. This comes out on you. It's on your YouTube station, right?
YouTube channel, Soulful Joyful Living channel. So I'm going to be posting that, and you can check out the other month.
The August one from August.
But there's even though it's August and July and September, there's so much information in those readings that it's not necessarily a time assigned
right
message. So be sure to check them out, because you'll get some information from the messages that the body of wisdom share with you. So
absolutely.
Well, have a great rest of the day whenever you're watching this, or night, and we love to have you back. So keep in touch, and
absolutely.
Thanks again. Bye.
Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.